All right, where are you, my people? Where are you at? The viewers of the Rokani Media Football. And this is the Football News Show. Bukayo Saka injury burst. If you remember, one of the games that Bukayo Saka played over the weekend against Tottenham Hotspur, where Arsenal had obviously win it by 1-0, Bukayo Saka responsible for that assist that resulted into a Gabriel Magalhaes header. You all know well that he really fell on the ground and he was really taken off the pitch, and many of you have been worried onto his situation. But I would love to obviously coming through and really tell you that a lot is going to hit to be spoken, and the Arsenal correspondent for the Evening Standard has come out and spoken a lot about that cause. And we also have something to say about Ancelotti as he heads into this beautiful game of as he talks about rotation. And then we have Enzo Maresca also talking about Jadon Sancho. Welcome to this beautiful channel of ours, and this is the Rokani Media Football. And smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And you know how we do it here onto this channel. We always bring you the latest news and information about your favorite teams, and we are trying to obviously see to it that we bring you more and more and more and more and more and more of your favorite ones that you love. And here into the mix, Hans Flink also has something to say into the mix. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. Even if you want one brand new, so even if you want a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. The rest will be history, and you'll thank me later. You can as well follow them on TikTok, search for Mono Gadgets, and you'll see the beauty of the work that they are doing as a side of Mono Gadgets. Now, Bukayo Saka, around I think the 80th minute, he found himself not unable to obviously lift his legs, and he went on the ground. When he went on the ground, things really turned out to be worrisome, and guess what? He was taken off the field of play, and Arsenal went ahead to obviously get on Nwaneri. By the way, all the time I've been pronouncing that name as Nwaneri, but he's known as Nwaneri. My Nigerian friends here onto this channel, guys, how come you let me pronounce the name like that, yet you really know the pronunciation of the guy? He's called Nwaneri, not Nwaneri. Nwaneri, meaning that the N is silent and it's not pronounced. But by the way, I would love to obviously send my gratitude to the first person to contribute to the studio of the Rokani Media Football, and he's known as Alal Dickens. He obviously made in his first contribution, and may the living to God bless you abundantly, and may Allah bless you abundantly too, because what you did was really great. And if at all you want to join the cause, obviously go into the lower right bottom corner, join our group, and you let me know what you really want to obviously do or contribute in here onto this channel. All else, you can as well come in through and put in the required shift all together by going into by dialing this number or adding this number to your WhatsApp and message me on +256 70 73 244 292 or 0703 244 292. The rest will be history, and we'll be joining the queue to obviously contribute to getting our studio to the next level onto this channel. Now, how many likes? 100 likes on this channel. And talk back to Bukayo Saka. Obviously, it's this guy known as Simon Collins. He's a football writer for the Evening Standard covering Arsenal and England. He has told us that Saka had cramps versus Spurs. Optimism present. He'll be present for Atlanta and City. Now, not cramps of women, right? But cramps. You know, anyone can really get cramps. So, Bukayo Saka went ahead to say to it that everything really never went his way as a player. And he was like, guys, I'm really going to do the needful and obviously get off the field of play because the game was already done. And in English, a cramp is a painful, involuntary, spasmodic contraction of a muscle. You know, it can happen in a leg. It's a paralysis of a muscle from overuse, see, right, cramps, all right? So you've had it very well. So he had a muscle, a contraction of a muscle in his leg, and he couldn't obviously push on. And he was like, let me obviously get off, because we had already gone ahead to secure, Arsenal had already gone ahead to secure the lead. And he was like, What else? What other business am I left with? And it was nothing, because all he had to was to really do the needful and really put in that assist. And guys, I've already told you that I don't have an agenda on Bukayo Saka. When he performs well, I'll always come up and obviously give him his flowers like I'm gonna do right now. He's that kind of player that you always give the benefit of doubt and really give him the best that he really deserves into the mix when it comes to doing exactly what he deserves to do as a player for the club of Arsenal. So he put in his assist when he was playing against Tottenham Hotspur, and that takes his assists to 4 this season in the Premier League. Remember, his first assist came in through when Arsenal was playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers, that resulted into that header from Kai Havertz, and then they played the second game against Aston Villa, and he was given all those 2 assists in the game of Aston Villa. And in the game of Brighton, right? Oh, not really. Aston Villa, he registered 1 assist. In the game of Brighton, that goal that Kai Havertz scores, guess who releases Kai Havertz? It was Bukayo Saka to make it 3 assists. And on Sunday, he made his 3rd assist of the season in the Premier League. Now, if you look at the level at which Bukayo Saka is really putting in these assists, anyone who is ahead of Bukayo Saka will really hide his head in the sand, because Saka has been known starting seasons putting in these assists. Saka has been known on starting seasons on a high with what we call goals. When you look at the Premier League season, he played 35 games and he scored 16 goals and put in 9 assists. Now, he's past halfway the number of assists he really made last season. What comes into your mind? What boils into your mind as a person who really loves Saka and Arsenal? That shows you that he's really improving and really turning into a deadly and dangerous player. And in the previous season of 2020-2023, he put in 11, meaning that this season, Saka might break his own record of really making the most number of assists this season in the Premier League. And I know he can take it to 20, because looks like he's mastering the art of really doing the due diligence, and he's really going to be available for the game of Atlanta and the game of Man City. You know, this week has been really very important for the club of Arsenal when you look at their fixtures, and ever since they went ahead to obviously win their first away game, that is against Aston Villa, they've gone ahead to win their second game, the away game in the North London Derby against Tottenham Hotspur, and they're really having another heck of games coming in through Atalanta on Thursday, that is away in Italy, and Man City on the 22nd of September, that is Sunday this week. And if all goes well and happens as planned, I tell you, Saka might bag himself more goals into these games and assists, and that's why it's very important to obviously have him into the team of Arsenal. And after that, Arsenal will be playing Bolton next week on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. Then Arsenal will be playing Leicester City on 28th of Saturday, PSG on the 1st of October at Emirates, and then they'll close their game before they go into the international break by hosting Southampton at the Emirates. And Arsenal has a chance to really go past Man City for they beat them on Sunday this week. So that is where Saka is really very important to have, because I think if I'm Arsenal, missing Saka in the game of Atalanta is okay, because they have players that can really get the job done in Italy. For example, if you have a player called what's his name? If you have a player called Raheem Sterling can play as a right forward. Even Waneri has shown us that can also play there, and they can get the job done. And even Declan Rice is back, so a lot can really come into the play of Arsenal to see that everything really moves on as planned for the club of Arsenal. And that is really great for Arsenal, and wait to see whether Saka will be present into the last training, because tomorrow they'll have to do what we call an open training session. And it's tomorrow when you're going to get to know exactly whether Saka is really going to be into that game or not, because that open training session consists of players that are really going to be taking place or taking part into the game that Arsenal is going to be playing to the Champions League, and that is that is Thursday this week. So that is what about Bukayo Saka. And Arsenal, so we wait to see whether he's really going to be part. But they say it's really positive. The guy is really going to be coming to. The guy is going to be coming to life, and he's going to be taking part in these games of football. Now, we wait to see whether the source of Simon Collins is really accurate. Now, Ancelotti, after losing to Nottingham Forest and facing AC Milan today, he has come out and obviously had something to say. And in his words, this is what Ancelotti had to say. For me, it was too simple to put that loss on a lack of rotation. We could have done a lot of things a lot better versus Forest, which was not related to rotation. Tomorrow, I expect a completely different game to Saturday. If you drop points at home to Nottingham Forest, then something is wrong. Obviously, you know, I'm always on to X, and every day I really discover different people talking about what they think about these managers. I don't undermine Ancelotti. I really respect him as a manager. But I believe in the game of Nottingham Forest, he really looked a little bit of naive. You understand? Because he was not a threat. Liverpool was not threatening. That is it. And meaning that him as a manager, they are really going to struggle when they are playing teams of a low block. You understand? Meaning that it's not going to be a walk in the park when it comes to playing teams that really pack the bus. And we all know to it that many teams in the Premier League do that, and he will struggle a lot. And he saw to it that beating Manchester United had to open up really a lot, and they capitalize onto the mistakes of players like Casemiro and so on and so forth. So, as it stands right now, Liverpool lost its first game of the season, and they conceded their first game. They had kept three consecutive clean sheets, and the fourth one couldn't come to pass because they couldn't defend very well. So Liverpool is playing AC Milan, and we just can't wait to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix. When you look at the UEFA Champions League, at what time is Liverpool playing? Let me check. Juventus is playing PSV. Right, today 9:45 the game is starting. Then Liverpool at 22 hours, some 2 hours from now, they are going to be really coming into the mix. And other fixtures, Young Boys is hosting Aston Villa, Real Madrid is playing or hosting Stuttgart, then Bayern Munich is hosting Dynamo Zagreb, Sporting Lisbon is hosting Lille, and Milan is hosting Liverpool. Bologna, that is for tomorrow. Tomorrow, that's when Bologna is going to be doing the news on Thursday. Arsenal coming through to obviously put in the required shift altogether into the mix and into the making. So that's what Ancelotti is taking, that if at all they really lost to Nottingham Forest, then something has to be wrong. And that's the fact. I like it when the manager takes the blame. And that is Ancelotti for you. He's really taking the blame by himself, and he's not really doing what we call a blame shifting game. Lastly, Hans Flink has come out and spoken out loud that I'm not a coach who finds or looks for excuses. I focus on my team. If the referee has doubts, he will go to the VAR regardless. Now, he's this kind of manager who, when he comes into the game, he tells them that we are not going to come here and really mourn. And I like that about him. He's not a mourning coach. He's not a crybaby. He's like, for me, I come with a strategy to win the game, and it's not all about the referees, because this came into the public domain after that penalty that I think they got when they are playing again. Which team did they beat 4-0 over the weekend? And he's like, why do people think the referee played for us? If something is wrong, he goes to VAR and see whether he's going to have to make a bad mistake or not. And especially for penalties, he has to go ahead and really do that. So I like this mentality of Hans Flick. So for him, he's all about the game. And by the way, this will win him favors in referees. Do you know why? Referees like people who really go ahead and really back them. You understand? So if people continue to back him, he'll obviously find himself in a position of really doing the due diligence and getting into the mix. And a lot is really going to be coming where it is. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Rokani David is my name. Tell me your thoughts about Bukayo Saka. Hope and that is the injury boost expected to be a variable for the game of Atalanta on Thursday in Italy, and the game of Man City on Sunday. Then what do you make about Ancelotti saying that if Liverpool lost to a side known as Nottingham Forest, there is something wrong with the team, and he has to rectify the mistakes in the game today when they're playing AC Milan? Do you think he's really going to rectify those mistakes? And then later, what do you make about one, right? What do you make about one? Hans Flink on what he thinks the referees are really doing the job in the Spanish La Liga. So go into the comment section, tell me your thoughts and what you think about these stories that we're going to cover in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now go into the lower right bottom corner and subscribe. After subscribing, the notification bell, and throw in your comments. But remember, we are powered by Munoga's dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, and then after, you can really see them do the needful and really do use justice. And they also deal in used phones and used laptops from the United Kingdom. Call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and that is Mundo Gadgets, and they'll be at your service. We sign out for now. See you later, and we love you. Bye bye. May the living to God bless you abundantly, and may the living to Allah bless you abundantly. Bye bye.